"It's nearly on, my dear," shouted Father. They'd waited all day for the programme to start. Mother had laid out a small picnic of nibbles on the large coffee table, and the drinks were poured. "Oh, I do love the Eurovision," Mother whispered to Father as they sat on the settee waiting with excitement for the show to start. They gazed in awe as the competition started. "Oh, this is going to be so exciting," Father said, as he picked up a large crisp from the bowl. Suddenly Hermie's face appeared next to Father's knee. He leaned over and patted him on the head. "Who's a good boy?" "Would you like to throw the ball for me?" Hermie asked. "Not now, Hermie. We're watching telly." "Then I shall make some annoying noises," Hermie said to himself. Grrr, grrr, grrr. "Oh, for goodness sake, shut up!" Hermie could feel a slight atmosphere in the room and thought it might be wise to settle down on his bed. "Do you think we have a chance this year?" Father asked Mother. She laughed, knowing full well how badly we would do. "Oh, I'm getting bored," Hermie thought. "I know, I'll sniff this empty crisp packet." He put his nose in the bag and licked the inside. Tasty," Hermie said to himself, as he pushed his nose even deeper into the noisy bag. These were all the noises Mother and Father heard for the next 3 minutes. "Oh, for goodness sake, Hermie, could you make a little less noise?" Father gave one of his stern looks at Hermie. "Hermie, hush, or I shall get cross," Father suggested in his most patient voice. "Oh, you're too soft with him," Mother laughed. "Oh, I know, but he's such a lovely little sausage. I can't help it." "I'll soon change that," Hermie thought, as he went over to his toy basket. "Now, which has the loudest squeak?" Hermie said to himself as he peered over the edge of the wicker basket stuffed with his toys. He put his nose deeper into the toy department and found one of his favourite toys. "Here we are. I remember this one. It has a lovely oink." Hermie pulled out the pink pig and took it over to his bed. "Oh, for goodness sake, Hermie, we're trying to listen to the entry. What's the point? You know what the result will be." Mother leant forward for a handful of nuts. "Oh, this is very pleasant, my dear," she said, as she snuggled up against Father. "We'll see about that," Hermie sneered, as he headed back to the basket of annoying toys. This will be even better," Hermie said to himself, as a very large monkey was dragged out of the basket. Hermie slowly dragged the brown monkey across the carpet and then to Father. "I'm ready to play," Hermie said with a patient look in his eye. He sat and stared at Mother and Father watching telly. "Oh, for heaven's sake, how long does it take for me to sit here with my monkey before you entertain me?" Grrr. Grrr. "Hermie, could you please shut up?" Father said very politely as the contest continued. "Would you like another twiglet, my dear?" She accepted it and settled down in Father's arms. "Oh, this is so lovely," Mother sighed. "Ah, my cue. Playtime." He dangled the brown monkey in front of Father. "Oh, come on, let's play," Father shouted with a little frustration in his voice. Father pulled as hard as he could, hoping not to rip the monkey from the rope. "You'll have to pull harder than that," Hermie said as he shook his head and growled. "Oh, just let go, Hermie," Father said as he started to lose his temper. "Ah, this is getting much better. I love antagonizing Father," Hermie sniggered. "Come on, pull, you silly old git. I can pull for England at this moment." Father pulled on the monkey's rope and smiled. "Who's a good boy?" Father asked Hermie, as he tugged even harder. "Are you having a nice time, my dear?" he asked, as the tug-of-war grew even stronger, with Hermie digging his back legs into the thick pile. Mother smiled. "I can't remember when I have had such a relaxing evening as this," she said, turning the volume up yet another notch. "Oh, I feel a little sarcasm floating in the air, my love," Father laughed. I think I have their attention at last, Hermie said to himself, as he jumped up on Father's lap and put both paws either side of his neck. Hello, Father. I do love you, you know. Father looked frustratingly back at Hermie's delightful face and said, Hermie, you have ruined our evening. You have brought Mother to the edge of desperation, and I am close to eating a bowl of doggy bits, and you still seem to think I want to play with you. Yes, Hermie smiled. That's what doggies do, he thought indignantly. Oh, come on, Hermie, the blinking monkey. Hermie just sat looking into Father's eyes. Maybe a lick might cheer Father up, Hermie thought. Suddenly a wet tongue appeared from Hermie's beard and hit Father's nose. Oh. Father squealed. Hermie jumped back in surprise at Father's reaction. He must have liked that, I think. I'll give him another one, even wetter lick, he thought, as his long, wet, slimy tongue left its home. Oh, for goodness sake, Hermie, I think you can jump down now, Father said as he pushed Hermie off and got out a big white hanky. Mother sniggered as he dried his wet face. Is he still a little sausage? She laughed. Can we have some peace now, and I throw a ball or something? Mother said as Father grabbed the ball and threw it along the corridor. That's better, Hermie said to himself as he sped along the polished floor. Whee! He grabbed the rolling ball and bounced off the wall, then quickly turned and ran back to Father. Aren't I clever, Father? He thought, holding the tennis ball between his jaws. Father leant over to throw it again, but Hermie stepped back, just enough to make Father lose his balance, and he spilt the glass of wine he was holding. Oh, for goodness sake, Hermie! Let me have the ball if you want me to throw it. Hermie relented and dropped the ball, but also dropped something else. Oh, Hermie, that stinks, you brute, Father said as he covered his nose with Mother's hanky. Come on, Father, just throw the ball, stop blowing your nose, Hermie thought as he waited in anticipation at the thought of running down the corridor again. Hermie, I am not blowing my nose, but trying to mask that terrible smell you have created. Smell? Hermie thought. I can't smell anything. Could you turn the telly up? I can't hear a thing, Mother demanded. Father searched for the remote, only to find it next to the wine bottle. As he leant forward, Hermie nudged Father's arm. Come on, Father, throw the ball. Unfortunately, Hermie's nudge was enough to knock Father's hand and the remote towards the awaiting bottle. Crash! The bottle went flying on the half-filled bowl of cheese and onion crisps. Silly dog, Father shouted as he stood up and accidentally trod on the remote. The telly went blank. Mother stood up and burst into tears. Thank you, Hermie. You have ruined our evening, Mother sobbed between her sniffs. Are you going to throw the ball or not? As he patiently sat next to his bright yellow ball. Father suddenly grabbed the ball and threw it at the wall. Hermie leapt up with excitement, and as he turned towards the ball, his tail knocked the remaining bowl of nuts flying off the table. Right, that's it. Let's go for a walk, Father cried. Father grabbed the lead and snapped it on Hermie's collar. Come on, you little blighter. Father opened the door and let Hermie out into the night air. It's raining, Father. Would it be possible to put on my hat and coat, please? Hermie said as he dived between Father's legs and onto his soft pillow. Come on, Hermie, you need a walk. Father, I think not. It is too wet, and I went earlier anyway in the garden. Okay, it is a little bit wet, I suppose. Would you like to watch the news, my dear? We could see who won the contest, Mother asked Father. Well, I know the answer to that, Hermie sighed as he pushed his nose into the lovely warm pillow. Here we are, Father shouted as he snuggled up next to Mother, trying to keep warm. Tonight's results for the Eurovision is Israel first, and of course UK 25th. Oh, what a surprise, Hermie said to himself. I don't know why we bothered you, my dear. Father sighed as he leant on her shoulder. Why don't you both go to bed and have a lovely snooze? Hermie hinted. Well, my dear, shall we go to bed? Father asked, a very tired and sad mother. Oh, yes, my dear, Mother said with a frustrated laugh. Soon the room was empty and Father and Mother left to have a good nap. Sorry, Father, Hermie said. Father came back in the room and looked down at Hermie. Good night, little chap. Have a nice sleep. Oh, Father, you're so understanding. I thought I might have upset you both tonight, but obviously not, Hermie said to himself, as he settled down to a nice 8-hour snooze.